the man who followed every rule, but discovered something that changed his life. There are people who do everything correctly. They fulfill their responsibilities. They work hard. They help their family. They don't harm anyone. From the outside, their lives seem organized and in order, but sometimes, even living this way, something inside the heart still feels empty, as if something important were missing. This is the story of Ricardo. Ricardo was 52 years old, and throughout his life he had always been a responsible man. He never liked conflict. He always tried to do the right thing. He had worked in a small accounting office for more than 20 years. He was punctual, organized, disciplined. In fact, many people used to say Ricardo is a good man. But there was something no one knew. Many nights, when he arrived home and closed the door, he would stand in silence, looking around the living room, the television off, the table empty, and a feeling that was hard to explain. It wasn't exactly sadness. It was more like a question rising quietly inside him, a feeling that something in his life was not completely full. One day after work, Ricardo decided to take a walk before going home. It was a calm afternoon. The sun was beginning to set. The park was almost empty. While he was walking, he noticed something that caught his attention. On a bench there was an elderly man. Next to him was a little girl crying. Ricardo thought about continuing to walk. After all, he didn't know them, and it wasn't his problem. But something inside him made him stop. Something very simple, a small inner voice. He walked over. The girl had fallen off her bicycle. Nothing serious. But she was frightened. Her grandfather was trying to comfort her, but his hands trembled a little. Ricardo knelt down in front of the girl. He looked at her calmly and said something simple. "Don't worry. Sometimes falling is also part of learning." The girl took a deep breath. Slowly she stopped crying. Ricardo fixed the bicycle. He adjusted the chain that had come loose, and before leaving, the grandfather looked at him with an expression full of gratitude. He said something Ricardo would never forget. "Thank you. Today we needed someone who would stop." Ricardo continued walking, but something inside him had changed. As he walked, he understood something he had never thought deeply about before. For many years he had lived fulfilling things, fulfilling rules, fulfilling responsibilities, fulfilling expectations. But often he did it like a checklist, as if life were only that. That small moment in the park showed him something different. It showed him that life is not only about doing what is right, it is about living with an awakened heart. It is about seeing others. Stopping, being present when someone needs you, because very often the smallest gestures turn out to be the most important. That night, when Ricardo arrived home, he sat quietly as always, but something was different. The feeling of emptiness was no longer there. He had discovered something simple, yet profound, that the true meaning of life is not only about following rules, it is about loving in the everyday moments, in a kind word, in an unexpected gesture, in that moment when someone decides to stop while everyone else keeps walking. And perhaps this story leaves us with a very simple reflection today. Life is not about doing great things, it is about doing small things with heart, because sometimes a small gesture can completely change someone else's day, and it can also change our own. If this story touched your heart, write it in the comments. Your message may inspire someone else who needs it today. And if you enjoy stories that help us reflect on life, love, and hope, subscribe to this channel. We are building a beautiful community that grows every day. And if you would like to receive a special channeled message for your life, look at the first link in the video description. There you will find how you can receive it. Thank you for being here. And remember, sometimes the smallest gesture is the one that leaves the greatest light along the path.